but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it.
The lawsuit stemming from an interview.
Carrie Underwood just pulled off the unthinkable, a $1 billion legal victory against The View's, leaving the show's host completely stunned.
Want to cancel people's not going to her shows.
After months of personal attacks from Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin over her performance at Donald Trump's second inauguration, Underwood decided enough was enough. What started as a simple musical performance turned into a media storm, with The View's harsh words threatening to destroy her career.
How do you love your country? I don't understand.
But instead of backing down, Underwood fought back and won big. Now, The View is left scrambling, and one question remains. How did Carrie turn the tables and make history in the process?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties.
Carrie Underwood's performance at Donald Trump's second inauguration quickly became the talk of the nation. The country music superstar, known for her powerful voice and wholesome image, was invited to sing America the Beautiful at the event, a moment meant to be patriotic and to celebrate the country. However, the performance quickly became more than just a musical appearance. For some, it was seen as an act of unity and a reminder of the American spirit, especially coming from a singer who had long been associated with country music's heartland values. But for others, the moment took on a political meaning that Underwood probably hadn't anticipated. Many perceived her decision to perform at Trump's inauguration as a show of support for his controversial presidency, sparking heated debate about her political leanings.
Country music, I think
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And
as expected, the backlash came swiftly. The decision to perform at such a highly charged event was bound to attract criticism, especially considering the divided political climate at the time. What happened next, though, was far more intense and personal than Underwood could have imagined. The day after the performance, the hosts of The View, one of daytime television's most outspoken talk shows, wasted no time turning their spotlight on her. What followed wasn't just a critique of her political choice, but a full-scale attack on her character. Underwood became the target of some of the harshest criticism of her career, with the hosts of The View leading the charge. Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin didn't hold back, and their comments would spark a media storm that would forever change the way public figures navigate their careers in the political spotlight.
I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
It didn't take long for the hosts of The View to weigh in on Underwood's performance. What might have started as a casual discussion quickly escalated into a full-on takedown. Rather than simply debating the politics of her performance, the host went after her with personal jabs that seemed more about tearing her down than engaging in any meaningful dialogue. Behar, Goldberg, and Hostin mocked her intelligence, questioned her values, and even seemed to imply that she had made a career-ending mistake by choosing to perform at Trump's inauguration.
She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it.
The verbal assault didn't stop at just the performance. The host took it a step further, questioning Underwood's character and her ability to bounce back from what they saw as a major professional misstep. They suggested that her career would never recover from this moment. Joy Behar, who's known for her outspoken opinions, even predicted that the country music industry would turn its back on Underwood and that her fan base would abandon her. Whoopi Goldberg chimed in, expressing disbelief that Underwood would align herself with such a controversial figure. In their eyes, the performance wasn't just a matter of personal choice. It was a statement that she had made a serious, irreversible error.
If I were asked, it would be a hard no.
The personal attacks didn't stop at speculation. The host commentary painted a picture of an artist who had alienated both her fan base and the industry. Their words seemed to carry weight as the media began to echo the narrative set by The View. Within hours, the story exploded across social media, and Underwood found herself at the center of a storm she never asked for. It wasn't just about her choice to perform at the inauguration anymore. It was about the backlash, the mockery, and the growing doubt over whether she could weather this kind of public storm. As the attacks continued, the narrative of Underwood's career was being rewritten in real time. The media followed The View's lead, framing her as a controversial figure, and industry insiders began to voice concerns about her future in the music business. Sponsors hesitated, radio stations grew reluctant to play her music, and suddenly, what was meant to be a patriotic gesture was perceived as something much more divisive. The backlash grew louder, and Carrie Underwood's once squeaky clean image began to crack under the weight of public scrutiny.
So let her be her and let her love this country.
When Carrie Underwood decided to remain silent in the face of the intense backlash following her performance at Donald Trump's second inauguration, many saw it as her way of avoiding the firestorm. After all, it's hard not to feel like the world is crashing down when you're being publicly ridiculed by some of the most influential voices in the media. But, as time went on, it became clear that her silence wasn't an act of surrender. It was actually a strategic move. Instead of reacting impulsively to the harsh criticism, Carrie chose to stay out of the spotlight and focus on the bigger picture.
She says, I'll just sing it, right?
She's like, I'll do it live.
And think about this. You got both presidents, you're standing in between both presidents and both vice presidents, and you think you've probably practiced it, right? With them in the room, and then boom.
Behind the scenes, though, things weren't so calm. Industry insiders began whispering about the consequences of her decision to perform at the inauguration. Sponsors, who had once been eager to align themselves with her clean image, started pulling back. Radio stations hesitated to play her songs, and some even questioned whether she was too controversial to continue her mainstream success. The media's portrayal of Underwood as a divisive figure seemed to be taking hold, and the slow damage to her career was undeniable. But Carrie wasn't naive. She knew that any hasty response could only fuel the fire and create more damage in an already tense situation. By staying quiet, she allowed the storm to pass while taking the time to strategize her next move. Her silence became a statement in itself. It said that she wasn't going to let the media dictate her actions. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, she bided her time and waited for the right moment to fight back, something that would prove to be a game changer in the months to come. As if the public backlash wasn't enough, things took a jaw-dropping turn when leaked internal emails began to surface, revealing an unsettling truth. ABC executives and producers at The View may have actively encouraged the smear campaign against Carrie Underwood for nothing more than ratings. These emails, obtained during Underwood's defamation lawsuit against the network, exposed a shocking behind-the-scenes effort to exploit the controversy for increased engagement. It wasn't about journalistic integrity. It was about using Underwood's name to stoke social media outrage and drive up ratings. As the documents and emails came to light, they painted a disturbing picture of how The View producers knew that targeting a high-profile conservative like Underwood would create a storm, one that would generate headlines and stir up controversy. The network's executives seemed to encourage this approach, fully aware that it would lead to a spike in viewer engagement. It wasn't just about reporting on the story, it was about capitalizing on the story. The more polarized and divisive the narrative, the better for The View's bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by this whatsoever. If you have any sort of association with Donald Trump, even if that's just singing at the inauguration, you're going to be cut off by every single left-leaning person who used to be a fan of yours. But really, are we surprised?
For Underwood, this was a revelation that not only validated her suspicions, but also exposed the darker side of the media machine. The backlash she had faced wasn't just a byproduct of her performance, it was a calculated attempt to manipulate public opinion and use her as a pawn in a larger media game. Underwood's legal team quickly pieced together the disturbing truths, revealing the extent to which her career had been targeted. The documents didn't just show a smear campaign, they illustrated a pattern of media manipulation that was more about entertainment and profit than fair journalism. After months of relentless attacks from The View's hosts, Carrie Underwood took a bold stand by filing a defamation lawsuit against the network and its outspoken hosts, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sunny Hostin. She wasn't just fighting to clear her name. She was challenging the smear campaign that had damaged her career. Underwood accused the hosts of making false and malicious statements, going beyond criticism to mock her intelligence and predict her downfall. If you enjoyed watching Carrie Underwood give The View a shock, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because trust me, this saga is far from over.